You right, everybody? Just a little quick one for my friends. He's looking for a little bit of advice on these tobacco tin size fire kits. As you can see, look, I've got a few of my fire kits out, like I said I would do. Your fire kit, right? It's like any of your other kits. It's a personal thing. You could have the traditional flint and steel kits that I showed off. It could be something as simple as a rope lighter, just a ferrocerium rod, just some ferrocerium rods. There's a couple of nice ones there, look. I won that was from Andy Outdoors. That goes in my old fashioned looking kit. And there's the monster from Mad Dog Supplies. Little whistle, that's the kind of ferrocerium rod I generally carry. But you're looking for some pointers, right? So I've clear away the bigger ones and we'll go through the smaller ones. You might get a couple of ideas, right? And we'll discuss why the tin. Right, I've got 3 fire kits here, look, tin size. That's my survival tin, look. And I carry that in a pouch, like that, tagged up. It's got a little marker on it. That says Rizla on there, but that's a tobacco tin size. And that's the fire kit that goes in there. I'll go through that for you. I'll just get that out of the way. Here's a little fire roll, look. Bits and pieces in to make fire. This fire kit here, it's from one of those kits from down there. Just glow in the dark tape. Tin foil. Ferrocerium rod. That's one of those smaller versions of the live fire. It's quite a good kit, that. Cotton wool, obligatory. This here is trioxane. It's like blue powder, blue block inside, and it's a good little fire starter. It's like their version of our solid fuel, the American stuff. Trioxane, it's called. There's some trioxane in there. That's those Tinder Quick things. I think they're called Tinder Quicks. Zippo, I think, do them. 3 tampons, and there's a knife down there, look. Small little folding knife. That's that fire tin kit. Very basic, ferrocerium rod. In here, there's another fire kit. Obligatory cotton wool. Little blade thing, caving type blade thing. Ferrocerium rod. Little torch. Little torch. Again, cotton wool, obligatory. Pine wood. Pine. Fat wood shavings. Magnesium. Oh, look. There you go, look. Pays to go through your kits. The top's popped off there. That's Brasso in there. Lighters, matches, stormproof matches. Yet more Tinder Quicks, more tampons. That's those wax dowlings. Oh look, there you go, look. There you go. There's a Mad Dog Jewel in there, look. Mad Dog Jewel, so that's been in there for a while. They're brilliant bits of things, kits. Right, so that's that fire kit there. This one in here, look. I've got a mag block. A large ferrocerium rod. Decent blade. Some birch bark. That's a larger one of those live fires in there. Some pocket bellows. A little knife. Little locking knife. Clipper lighter. Swan Festo matches. That's just tinder in there. Cotton wool tinder. Stormproof matches. And up in there, there is your bungee cord. I stripped the wrapping off bungee cord and cut bungee cord up in little strips, right? And then I've dabbed that with a bit of rubber solution. And I flicked that with a spark, and that's my wet fire. Okay, and that's what that is in there. Bits of rubber tubing, rubber bands, bungee bands, rubber solution, and there'll be some inner tube strips. Okay, that's that fire kit in there. And here we are, right, with the tin in the survival tin, right? The point of the physio primer, friends. The way I see it is, right, if you're with limited kit, right, you start to get around the mentality of being to adapt things and modify things and get by with like, the limited amount of kit that you've got. So you should always see things having more than one use. Like for instance, I said the other day about those foot pumps, right? Some people might just see an airbed foot pump, right? But because that's two-way, that'll work as a fuel pump, a water pump. You can get running hot water with it, yeah? Put in a bucket of warm water, one tube out the other. It could be a vacuum cleaner for cleaning up small bits. It could be a blower for blowing out bits of dust, you know? So more than one thing. It's got more than one use. So the tins, right? Because they're easy to come by, because that's how I used to buy tobacco. Used to come in tins like that. You would have Golden Virginia or Old Holborn. That's what the tobacco would be. So therefore, those tins become part of your kit, right? So here is the same size tin. I'm doing it one-handed for you, mate. Look, right? There's the same size tin, tobacco tin, right? And the tin becomes more than one thing, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Like you could dig with it, you could boil water with it, you could char cloth material in it, or charred vegetation, you know, you could use it for charring, signalling, you could snap it and turn it and sort of get a half blade out of it, an edge out of it, you know, lots of different things. So they become handy and they're very easy accessible, don't cost anything. Right, so here's the 5 kit. So that's like my survival tin, like the survival tin, right? But I keep mine in a pouch because I can get a foil blanket in the back of there. I've got all the goodies in my tin and behind the tin. So I've got my tin with all my goodies in there. Behind the tin, do you know those takeaway packages you get, the tin foils? That's a couple of one of those, and if you fold them up gently, you can get them semi-flat, and that gives you a trough, right? So I've got those two in there, right? And then I've got this fire kit on top, of which I'm going to go through. But I keep my tin in a pouch. And I've got these, you see, look, that's an old one, you see, look. I've got these tins like that everywhere, right? Everywhere. I'll go through some of them. But the fire kit in here, which belongs in there, and there's fire making stuff in there. Bit of flammable gaffer tape, that's a scalpel blade in there, and there might be 2 or 1 razor Stanley knife blades in the lid. I was never a big one for putting things on the lid, but I do it. The obligatory cotton wool, little flashlight, tampons. Oh look, that's I'll show you that in a minute, right? There's yet another one of those Featherseam rods, the BCB ones, fireballs. There you go, look. A wee bit of rubber solution. Some quality lifeboat matches. Some of that wax dowling. See these here, they're wrapped up in 3 for 3 emergency fires. That's that little round solid fuel that you get from the civilian hex burners. And a bit of tin foil. So there's 3 of them, tin foiled up. A little bit of magnesium. See this here stuff here? That's potassium permanganate mixed with the magnesium. It's quite so potassium permanganate. More of those tinder quicks. I've got that's a magnesium rod and Featherseam striker. They come off a Polymath Products kit. Bicycle repair patches, rubber patches for wet fires. More cotton wool. I know that these are trick candles. They're the trick birthday candles. Ever you blow them out to keep lighting again. It pays to get quality ones on those, mind you. I must say, if you're going to use those trick candles, try to get some good decent ones. Whistle, you know it's small, massive bit of kit. That's wax jute twine in there, again, Polymath Products. Some tin foil on the bottom there, and a bit of pre-burnt wick. right? This here, this is the Walker, Andy, and everybody else I was talking about, right? It's a bit smaller than the normal pocket-sized knives, right? 1 second. Right, you see that there? This is called the Walker. You get the blade. You get one of those, remember I said it was the multi-opener? Bottle opener, can opener, screwdriver, wire bender. You get that. And you get a little saw on it, look. That's the Walker. You get the scale tools, toothpick and tweezers. But that's the Walker. 1 second. Just 1 second. Now it's hold on. So that's your normal size pocket knife, Swiss Army knife, look. You see it's just that wee bit smaller. Just that wee bit smaller, but it's got a blade and a saw on it. That's called the Walker. And that lives in that fire kit there. Right, so just on fire kits, massive on fire kits. Sorry, to get back to the point, yeah, the tins. So that's I think that's where the tins come from. The idea of the tin is because they were very readily available. Right, like I say, if you don't, if you only get given a certain amount of kit, you've got to start being able to improvise things, and you should always carry things with more than one use. Like the potassium permanganate, that's not a dying thing, that, right? It's got an extremely long shelf life. It's got multiple uses, right? It's a perfect chemical for your kits. But on fire, right? Fire is a massive thing. It's a bit more than just boiling your water and keeping your toes dry, right? If you think about it, it's nature's multi-tool, isn't it? The amount of things you can do with a bit of fire. So for me, I think I'm a big believer in any knife that you use should have a ferrocerium rod on it, right? Minimum, right? And I stand by that law. This is a Schrade